For months now, Texas has been seeing a surge of migrants crossing over the southern border. Leaders there passed a new law allowing state police to arrest migrants. The Supreme Court greenlit it, but within the last few days, an appeals court just reversed that decision.
It is a lot of back and forth. So thankfully, we have our 9 News legal analyst, Whitney Traylor, here to explain it all. Thanks for coming in.
Sure thing. It is quite confusing. I was looking at it this morning, and there's changes even up till, this week. So,
right.
Yeah.
So let's start with the Supreme Court decision. Why did they rule that way?
Yeah, well, it's interesting. I think we have to actually start back with the original law. So the law, Senate Bill 4, said essentially that law enforcement, if they believe somebody had crossed the border unlawfully, that they could detain them. And this was a misdemeanor. And if they caught them a second time, then it could be up to 20 years as punishable as a felony. And so this was challenged in law, and a federal district court judge said, no, this is unconstitutional. So Texas appealed it. They went to the Fifth Circuit. Well, normally on an appeal, you appeal it, and there's a number of different factors that happen. You have an actual hearing on these things. Well, the Fifth Circuit just issued a one line saying, we're imposing an administrative stay. And so essentially they said, hey, what the judge did below doesn't matter. The law is still in effect. So, and they just gave one line, and they called it an administrative stay, which is essentially an end around. The Supreme Court then looked at that administrative stay. They didn't issue a ruling on the merits. They came back and they said, yeah, we agree with the administrative stay. So essentially the law was still in effect. 2 days after that, the Court of Appeals, the same Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, actually imposed their own stay. So now the law is not in effect until there's a full hearing, which is how it should have been. So it went all the way up to the Supreme Court. Now it's at the Court of Appeals. So it's all over the place. But as it stands now, the law is not in effect until we have a full hearing on the appeal.
Texas cannot go forward as of right now with detaining people crossing the border.
That's exactly right. Yes.
Gotcha.
So for a few hours, they could. It was literally a number of hours from the Supreme Court ruling till that evening, the Court of Appeals reversing itself.
So clearly where it stands right now, this issue not resolved.
This issue is not resolved at all. And actually the way the process went was normal in the appeals process, but it wasn't normal in that they didn't actually hear it on the merits. They were just doing these sort of administrative actions, which is terrible, because this is a huge constitutional issue, because we have centuries actually of precedent that the federal government is responsible for these immigration laws. And here what you have now is a state that's saying, well, we're taking the matters into our own hands. And the problem with that is that we want to speak with one voice when we're making essentially foreign policy. This is why states can't declare war and things like that, because we'd have all these different voices speaking. So I believe there's going to be a hearing, I think April 3rd or maybe April 5th, on the actual merits. And then it will go, I think, the normal process. Court of Appeals will hear it, and then the Supreme Court will likely hear the appeal.
So the back and forth is nowhere near done on this
Boy,
one.
I tell you, it's like watching Wimbledon, just seeing the ball get lobbied back and forth. Yeah.
It is back and forth. And this is really important. This is how our laws are developed, right? When we have appellate court decisions, this is what's called common law, stare decisis, or judge-made law. This is what our kind of jurisprudence system is based on. So it's good that we're going to have resolution only after it's heard on the merits, though.
And it's good that we have you in here to help try to make it clear for us.
And to make it easy
hard
for everybody at home whenever they do rule. We are going to bring that to you plain and simple, we promise.
All right. Thank you.